Hello from IMG Academy and welcome to the 2021-2022 academic year. My name is Mike Milliron, Senior Vice President and Interim Head of School, and it's my pleasure to officially kick off this academic year by welcoming back our returning families and by welcoming to the IMG Academy family all of our new students. Personally, I couldn't be more excited for this year. This is my 10th academic year at IMG Academy. We have a tremendous student body. 63 countries represented, students from 45 different states, truly one of the most diverse student bodies of any boarding school in the country, and we're so excited. Before we get started with the virtual orientation programming, I want to make sure I said something very simple to our parents. I want to say thank you. Thank you for entrusting us, the IMG Academy community, with your sons and daughters for this school year. It's a responsibility we take incredibly seriously, and we work tirelessly to make sure your sons and daughters have a tremendous year this year. Now, as far as what to expect during our virtual orientation here today, we wish we could be doing this in person in the summit room of the field house or in the ballrooms of the Legacy Hotel, but we felt, just given the rise of the COVID activity, it was best to do it in this virtual setting again this year. We thank you so much for your understanding and being flexible and nimble with us. We do hope to have everyone on campus for Parents Weekend in October. If we're able to do that, we'll have robust programming and plenty of opportunities for you to meet our tremendous staff and get to know all of us. As far as today's orientation, you should expect some programming overviews, introduction of staff, and just a wide array of information across a variety of departments. Athletic and personal development, student life, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital, our on-campus health services provider, as well as our academic staff. We hope after today's information is shared, you're ready for an exciting year and have all the information you need to have a strong start to the year. Before the programming kicks off, there are a few items that I want to make sure that I touch on and that you hear from me. And the first being COVID-19. And unfortunately, this is the second year in a row during our virtual orientation that COVID-19 is something that's being discussed. Later in this program, you'll hear much more as it relates to our protocols, the development, the implementation, and the closely monitoring of the situation from our partners at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. And what I can say is it's been tremendous to have them on campus. I don't think there are many boarding schools that have a partner like Johns Hopkins right on site, really working hand in hand throughout this pandemic and helping us navigate to make sure our campus remains safe. It goes without saying, I think for all of us, the last 18 months have been very long. Students, parents, staff, and faculty. Last year was hard work, but we made it through and we had a tremendous year. In-person classes, unbelievable athletics training and competition, national championships records, and we were even able to bring back some of our on-campus activities towards the end of the year. It was hard work and it was tough, but we did it. And I think what's most important is we did it together. It was the students, it was IMG, and it was the parents. And I can't thank our returning parents enough for that strong partnership and teamwork that was demonstrated last year. My ask for this year is to have that same teamwork and that same partnership together as we continue to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic. I would now like to talk about something that's very unique and special and that we do each year, and that's the adoption of an inspirational word of the year. Each year, our student body, our staff, our faculty across campus truly adopt an inspirational or theme of the year. This word is then utilized and incorporated into lessons in the classroom, on the playing field, in the residence hall, and truly woven into all that we do. In past years, words such as community, empathy, and last year, intentional, have all been utilized. And as many of our returning families and our students certainly know, it's more than just a singular word. It's a feeling, it's a mindset, it's an approach, and it's a value that we work to instill in our students each year. It's truly powerful when this comes to life and resonates across campus. The inspirational word for this year, the 2021-2022 academic year, is gratitude. A thankful approach to what we do, the opportunities provided, and for what lies ahead. We as a staff have so much to be thankful for. We have the opportunity to work with such driven, passionate, great students in an environment, as you can see, that's second to none, with tremendous colleagues. Our students also have a lot to be thankful for. The opportunity you provided for them to continue their training and their learning here at IMG Academy, for their potential that they're working so hard to achieve. So we're very excited to utilize gratitude this year and to truly see what we like to call an attitude of gratitude really resonate across campus. Much more to come on this, but we are very excited for it. And finally, as we look to this year, our team across campus could not be more excited to welcome our 1,200 students back to campus. This past week, we had our faculty and staff return, and there was the buzz back in the school building again. It was so great to see when we were doing professional development, team building. The staff was genuinely anxious for the students to get back. We're ready. We're ready to get started. Our team is ready to support, nurture, and push your sons and daughters to reach their potential academically, athletically, socially. We're ready to handle any new challenges that come our way. And if last year has proven anything to us, with our strong partnership with our parents, our students, and our staff, IMG Academy is ready for anything. We're excited for this year and to get started. So in closing, what I would say is I look forward to meeting many of you in October at Parents Weekend, having the opportunity for you to meet the staff and truly get to know us. Please know that our team is only a phone call or an email away, whether if it's me, Lori Gubernot, our head of our upper school, Ashley Killian, our head of our middle school. We're always available. So once again, thank you for entrusting us with your children for this academic year. I look forward to meeting you and having a tremendous year.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Hamilton, Head of Mental Conditioning here at IMG Academy. And as a part of the mental conditioning team, I am housed within our Athletic and Personal Development Department. And I'm really excited to be able to share with you a little bit about what the Athletic and Personal Development Department is, what disciplines your son or daughter will be experiencing as a part of the Athletic and Personal Development Department, and how it looks. So let's get started. Athletic and Personal Development is also known as APD, and our APD department is made up of a variety of disciplines. Those disciplines include strength and conditioning, sports medicine, sports science, nutrition, cognitive perceptual training, mental conditioning, leadership, and life skills and character development. In strength and conditioning, this is where the student athletes will be working to develop their bodies to meet the demands of competition, whether that is through strength training or speed and agility work or whatever demands that they will see out in their competition environment. In the weight room or on the field is where your son or daughter will work with our strength and conditioning coaches to prepare their bodies to meet those demands. In addition to things like strength training and agility training, they'll also focus on important aspects like recovery and flexibility. Again, things that will help their bodies meet the demands of their performance environment. Our strength and conditioning coaches also work closely with our sports medicine staff. These are our athletic training professionals, and your son or daughter will get to know them very well because when they're out at practice, our athletic training staff is there too. They're there ready to help should a situation occur in which possibly an injury might happen, or if somebody gets hurt or hit unexpectedly, the athletic training professionals are there to care for them in that moment. They'll also work closely with the student athletes in the rehabilitation process and going through the recovery to help them to return to sport as safely and as quickly as possible. Additionally, the athletic trainers are there to help in preventative care as well. So providing the exercises or the strength or the development that the student athletes need so they can put themselves in the best chance to be as available as possible to play as safely as possible. Our athletic trainers also work closely with the Johns Hopkins All Children's medical staff. These are our physical therapists who work in close collaboration to deal with more longer-term injuries, to again making sure that they work so that the student athletes can safely compete as often and as quickly as possible. Our nutrition discipline is also here to support the student athletes. And we think of the nutrition as really providing the fuel that the student athletes need to perform any of these demands that they've been training for. Oftentimes, our nutrition coaches will work with the student athletes in a workshop setting to provide them the education that they need to make better nutritional choices. Additionally, our nutrition coaches can often be seen in the cafeteria helping to make live on-demand choices with the student athletes so they can apply the information that they've learned in the mealtime setting. Our nutrition coaches has also taken student athletes out to the grocery store so they can learn how the nutrition process really starts even before the food gets to the table. Our nutrition coaches are there in live coaching settings as well as in the classroom to make sure that your son or daughter has the information they need to make the best nutritional choices possible. In addition to the strength and conditioning department, the sports medicine department, as well as our nutrition department, your son or daughter will also experience cognitive perceptual training. Cognitive perceptual training is where the student athlete will work to develop a more effective and proactive perceptual and cognitive process, essentially developing the skills to help them see the information they need to see, make decisions from that information so they can execute on their choices faster and more efficiently. This includes things like reaction time, as well as decision making, developing a broader peripheral vision, and a whole number of other visual and cognitive skills to help them perform their best out in the competition space. In addition to cognitive perceptual training, we also have our mental conditioning department. Our mental conditioning department helps the student athletes to train the skills they need in order to perform at their best, no matter the circumstances. This can happen in a classroom setting where they might provide psychoeducational workshops to give them the information they need, but oftentimes you'll see the mental coaches out on the field so they can apply that information directly into the competitive space. You might see your son or daughter experiencing things like developing confidence or managing pressure and maybe even refocusing after difficult moments. These are the things that your son or daughter will work on with our mental conditioning coaches. At IMG Academy, our student athletes also have the privilege to work with our leadership department. And our leadership department spends a lot of time to help develop the future self of our student athletes, helping them to better understand what inspires them. How do they connect with other people? How to effectively communicate, and even how to empower those around them to be their best selves too. Our leadership department, in addition to character building, will also spend ample time on life skill development and really looking at the tools and strategies to time management and stress management and even navigating things like their own personal brand. Last but not least, we have our sports science department. And our sports science department really helps us to take all of these disciplines and ensure that we are on the path of development that is right for the student athletes at IMG Academy. They'll use the data from various testing in strength and conditioning, athletic training, mental conditioning, and with innovative tools and technologies will help to make sure that our student athletes are going in the direction that they need based on the demands and the work that they are putting forward. As you can see, there are a variety of disciplines within the athletic and personal development department that our student athletes will have the opportunity to experience and grow from. One thing to note is while looking at all of these different disciplines, I don't want to give the impression that these all happen separately from each other or in isolation. We actually have a very collaborative and integrative approach to delivering these athletic and personal development resources to each team and student athlete in this process. So one example of that is our athletic and personal development pods. Our pods are created of all the staff members that work with a team or a sport from each different discipline. So the strength and conditioning coach, the nutrition coach, the leadership coach, the mental coach, all of the staff that work with a specific sport will meet together on a weekly basis. This allows us to have a streamlined communication, as well as understand a little bit more about what everybody's doing in the department, what are the needs of that particular sport, and how we might change or adjust our programming to make sure that we're taking into consideration all of the disciplines and the work that we're doing together. This helps us not only communicate more effectively, but really ensure that we are providing the services and support that an individual team or group might need. As we go through through our athletic and personal development department as support staff to the sport training that our student athletes are able to engage in, we are excited to be able to support them in all of these avenues. And we are so grateful that we have the opportunity to work with each of these student athletes in this developmental process. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to another wonderful year at IMG Academy.
Hello, my name is Crystal Kelly. I'm one of the student life managers here at IMG Academy, and I would like to personally welcome you to the IMG Academy family. I've been with IMG Academy for almost 7 years now, and I can honestly say that it is still such a rewarding feeling to even make just the smallest impact on the lives of our student athletes. And I say this on behalf of the entire student life department, that we are so excited to have the opportunity to continue to make an impact on our student athletes. And we are committed to both parents and students to making sure that you have the very best experience while at IMG Academy, and we look forward to going on this journey with you. Our goal is to make sure that every student athlete reaches their full academic, athletic, and social potential. We have a web of support throughout the IMG community, such as coaches, teachers, advisors, and residential mentors who are compassionate, diverse, empathetic, and here to assist our student athletes in reaching their full potential. Our core values. We take pride in creating a culture within the dorms where students feel a sense of belonging. Our staff lead by example by using IMG Academy's core values: an open mind, passionate soul, absolute integrity, a champion spirit, and a helpful heart. We offer programming in the dorms for our diverse group of student athletes and staff by learning from each other and establishing healthy relationships and learning to resolve conflict effectively. Our community helps each student find a balance between academics, sport, and personal growth and development, as well as overall well-being. We are passionate about building a community and relationships on campus while providing a safe, clean, and comfortable space within the dorms to allow for personal growth and development. Our residential mentors are the responsible adult presence in the dorms, providing daily guidance and support to our student athletes and parents. Our team of residential mentors live on and off campus, providing supervision 24/7. You can expect us to hold our student athletes accountable for our policies and procedures addressed in the Parent and Student Handbook, as well as any new changes to our policies and procedures. We are here to mentor and coach our student athletes through this process of being away from home to help them gain a sense of independence, self-sufficiency by teaching them life skills. We implement policies and procedures to ensure the safety and security of our student athletes, and also to ensure our code of conduct is being maintained. As an added layer of security, all student athletes will need their student ID to enter their assigned dorms, wings, and dorm rooms. Any major rule violations listed in the Parent and Student Handbook may lead to dismissal from the Academy. Based on the guidelines of the Florida Department of Children and Families and the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, IMG Academy is a mandatory reporting school. COVID-19 safety measures. Masks are required inside all buildings, including dorms, the campus center, and indoor sessions. Masks or face coverings will not have to be worn outside, but everyone must do their very best to physically distance from others. All student athletes are placed in pods and are expected to compete, dine, and house in their pods. Mail will be quarantined for 24 hours prior to being available for pickup. Sign-outs and reach. After our Safe Start program is complete, students will not be permitted to sign out from campus unless it is an emergency. These rare exceptions are granted case by case. In the event an emergency is approved for sign-out, a reach leave request must be submitted. Students are only permitted to sign out with parent, grandparent, or sibling 25 years or older. Student Athlete and Parent Handbook. The Student Athlete and Parent Handbook is on Plus Portals. IMG Academy does not waver from our policies, so please familiarize yourself with this handbook. In closing, I encourage you to partner with us, trust the process, and hold your student athletes accountable on your end. We are here to help guide them as they become the best versions of themselves, and we look forward to the opportunity to get to know all of you. Please contact our Student Life team with any questions. Go Ascenders!
Hello, I'm Dr. Patrick Mulleroni. I'm the Medical Director of Sports Medicine at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital and also the Medical Director of Health Services at IMG Academy. As we welcome students back to campus for the 2021-2022 school year, we are unfortunately still impacted by the COVID-19 virus. The current Delta variant has led to increased cases across Florida and each of the United States. Although COVID infections in age groups represented by the student athletes at IMG tend to be less severe than those in older population, the infection still continues to impact our students by keeping them from both school and sport due to infection and contact tracing to an individual who has become infected with the COVID-19 virus. We have continued to meet throughout the summer to discuss our COVID protocols, and we were excited by the trajectory of infection throughout our country in the beginning of June. Unfortunately, infection rates took a turn in the last month and are increasing across our country. The vast majority of those who are becoming infected are in fact unvaccinated. Even with the Delta variant causing breakthrough infections in some vaccinated individuals, we continue to find that vaccination is the best defense against severe infection. Fortunately, almost 60% of our student athletes have been vaccinated, and we will continue to hold vaccination clinics on campus to help families who want to get their child vaccinated. This school year, those students who are not vaccinated will need to submit a negative COVID test prior to school check-in. In addition, we are starting the school year with a Safe Start program. This program still allows students to attend school in person and train for their sport, but will limit close contact in sport and social activities. To start the year, we will be back in masks indoors. When looking at the new CDC guidelines for contact tracing, our current distancing in school and in the cafeteria not only limits the chance of catching COVID, but also limits the chances of being a contact trace to an infected individual. Students do not need to wear masks when outdoors, but are asked to pay special attention to social distancing. We continue to follow CDC guidelines with regards to contact tracing. Unvaccinated student athletes who are determined to be a close contact to a positive case will be tested and will need to quarantine for 10 days. If a vaccinated student is a close contact, they will be tested, but will not need to quarantine if they are negative. Given the nature of COVID infection, it is important for any student who has symptoms to come to health services to be evaluated. If indicated, testing will be performed on campus. If a student athlete comes up positive for COVID-19 infection, they will be able to stay on campus in a private room and will be monitored for the duration of their 10-day quarantine by campus life and nursing staff. After a 10-day quarantine, athletes will be evaluated by one of our on-campus physicians and then will be cleared to begin a 7-day graduated return to sport protocol under the guidance of their athletic trainer and coach. IMG Academy is a unique environment, and we will continue to review our protocols, taking into account student vaccination rates, on-campus infection rates, and community spread in our local community and in the communities where our student athletes compete. We believe that the protocols that we have in place today give us the best chance to allow student athletes to continue to have in-person learning and also the opportunity to train for and compete in the sport they love. We will continue to review these protocols throughout the year and will make changes as the situation evolves. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Valerie Valley. I'm a sports psychologist, and my job will be to take care of the mental health and well-being of your student athlete at IMG Academy. Optimum performance requires optimum physical and mental health. There may be many things that can interfere with that optimum performance, and these things could be like adjusting, difficulty adjusting because it's the first time away from home, or just because of the increased responsibilities and increased freedom that come with this IMG Academy. Maybe it's difficulty forming and maintaining relationships, and we know how important the quality of social relationships are to well-being. Maybe it's difficulty due to injury or illness, or grief, which is the emotional function of loss, and that could be loss of identity, status, self-esteem, death, or relationship to someone who's close to us. There may be excessive anxiety in performance tasks, and this anxiety can interfere with learning in the classroom and performing on the field. There may be difficulty tolerating distress and regulating emotions, and one of the most important mental skills is that ability to know how to regulate these big emotions. Perhaps there's a lack of interest or motivation, and this may be simply because of a lack of understanding the why, or it could be something because of a mood disorder like depression that interferes with motivation and energy. Maybe there is impulsive or risky behaviors, such as substance abuse. Or maybe there's issues with eating, restrictive eating, or binge purging. These are also issues that can interfere with their performance while at IMG Academy. Or it could be suicidal thinking. And we know that with an American high school student, 70% of Americans have seriously had thoughts of suicide. Early identification and early intervention is the goal at IMG Academy. For most students, acute distress will resolve with little to no impairments in functioning. And for other students, acute distress can persist over time and be quite severe and interfere in their functioning in the classroom, in their sporting environment, and/or socially. And it's in cases like these where services such as Johns Hopkins Psychological Services are very important. We have comprehensive mental health care services through Johns Hopkins Psychological Services, and that is everything from neuropsychological assessment, which is designed to determine cognitive strengths and weaknesses, to help your child inform appropriate classroom assistance, to psychopharmacology, and this is the use of drug therapy to produce changes in mood and behavior, to individual psychotherapy, which is the place where learning and practicing psychological skills to overcome problems and change behaviors in desired ways occurs, to group therapy, where this is designed to both support and provide accountability. And it's designed also for perspective taking and learning empathy, and where social engagement we know amplifies learning in that group process. And we also offer drop-in services. Those are daily services Monday through Thursday, designed for supportive care to assist in problem solving, and that is again Monday or Thursday, both at 10:30 and 2:30 in the morning and in the afternoon, that coincides with those academic advising hours. You can meet our psychological services treatment team. On the far left, we have Dr. Jennifer Katzenstein. She is our co-director, Center for Behavioral Health, and our pediatric neuropsychologist. We have Dr. Jeffrey Alvaro, our pediatric psychiatrist. Me, Dr. Val Valley, sports psychologist, and Jenna Ross, who is our care coordinator extraordinaire, and she also conducts and facilitates our drop-in sessions. Sign up services is simple by appointment. You can call us or drop in person. I remind you that services are confidential. Fees are billed through medical insurance. The location is in the academic building, rooms 334 and 335. And our hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 6 p.m. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you.
We are excited to start the new year here at IMG Academy. I am Lori Gubernat, the head of Upper School, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the orientation. It's going to be a great year.
Hi, my name is Carrie Grant. I'm the Dean of Students for middle school, 9th and 10th grade.
Hello and welcome to IMG Academy once again. My name is Joe Kukitz. I'm the Dean of Upper School, which includes grades 11, 12, and postgraduate students. I know that historically the Dean's office is associated with students being in trouble and difficult situations to work through, which definitely is the case some points during the year, but I also want you to know that I'm a resource here for parents and students, and to make sure that anytime there's an issue around campus, in the classroom, wherever, just please reach out, be preemptive, so that we can work through anything that's bothering you together. And I'm very confident that we can work through everything and make sure that these students have a successful year. So please, once again, don't hesitate to reach out. And I look forward to a very successful year. I hope you do too. Thank you very much.
Hello, and welcome to IMG. My name is BJ Potter. I oversee the postgraduate program at IMG. I'm here to talk to you about the things you need to know as a parent, kind of overview all three of our programs, important things to know within each program. But I first want to start with thanking you for trusting us with your sons and daughters, especially in our PG program. I love this program. I think it really can benefit your sons and daughters, and I'm excited to get started. I want to touch on this year a little bit. I want to say that how proud I am of us and our accomplishments as students and staff last year, for us to overcome COVID, not have any seasons be canceled, to have all of our classes continue to be in a seated format. I'm proud of that, and I'm excited to learn from what we were learning last year and also to apply that to this year. I can't wait to get started. About me, first and foremost, I've had a lot of different roles at IMG. I'm going on my 8th year. I've worked in the registrar's office helping build student schedules. I've been in academic affairs overseeing student success, as well as have experience in college counseling here. So I have a lot of different roles within the academy, so I feel like it can be a really good resource for your sons and daughters. The biggest thing I want to communicate to all of our postgraduate parents is I'm here to help. The more your sons or daughters are in our office, in my office, looking up colleges, researching schools, communicating with college coaches, the more I can help them. So the biggest thing, the more they're in my office, the more they're seeking out help, the more help they're going to get. I challenge the students and the families to utilize the support that's here. If you lean on the support, you will get what you want from this experience. Touching on our postgraduate college program. First and foremost, I want to touch on some important dates that you need to know. First, our first day of seated classes will be August 30th. Next, October 19th, midterm grades will be available. And I'll touch on what we call Canvas and Oasis, where you can view midterm grades. Secondly, Thanksgiving, November 20th through November 28th will be Thanksgiving break. We will not have postgraduate college classes on those dates. Lastly, most importantly, December 9th will be the last day of postgraduate college classes. So please arrange travel based on that date. But I want to make sure that you're aware, Because we finish on December 9th academically, that doesn't necessarily mean that athletically we'll be finished. So please, before you book travel home for the end of semester 1, please have a look at the sports schedule so you're not booking travel during any tournament dates. In terms of our college students, what's important to know is a website called Canvas. Each student that's in PG College will be given a Canvas account. In that Canvas account, they'll go on, they'll view their assignments, they can view their syllabus, they can turn in homework. Every PG College student will need to access Canvas, and it's important that if you don't have access to it, you come see me and I'll help you through it. Also for transcripts, I often get the question for our PG College students, how do I access transcripts? That will be all through the Canvas website, and specifically the OASIS tab. In the OASIS tab, students and families can go request transcripts be sent to colleges. You can request a copy for yourself, but it's important to know that at IMG we don't have access to the USF transcripts as our PG College students are taking classes with USF. In the classroom, we have the same uniform expectations as our high school students, collared shirt, solid color chino style with belt loops. Same thing for absences. If a PG College student is going to be absent, they need to tell me. Send me a text message, send me an email, but it's important that you send your teacher that same communication. I'll touch on this throughout my presentation. Effort and communication are the two biggest things for us. If you try hard and you're willing to show others how hard you're trying, and you communicate with me and you communicate with your teachers outside of class, you will be successful. I can't say that enough. Effort and communication are key to your success. Last thing is SAT and ACT prep, and this goes for any student. We have SAT prep for all of our postgraduates, Tuesday, Thursday evenings. You don't have to make an appointment. It doesn't cost you any money. You bring your laptop and you have individual instruction every day that you attend on SAT and ACT. So that's for our PG College students, PG High School, as well as PG Sport only. Touching on our PG High School students, it's important to know that the academic calendar is the same as the high school. All of the dates, including breaks, off days, will correspond with the high school calendar if you are a postgraduate high school student taking high school classes. Important to know, you have the same access to SAT prep, college counseling services through me, our college counseling department if you're a postgraduate high school student. Same thing if you're a postgraduate sport only. Postgraduate sport only students, just because you're not taking classes in our building, that doesn't mean you can't come in the academic center. Get help, get SAT prep, anything that you might need to fulfill your goals of why you came to IMG, we want to help you. What I'll say in closing is I can't wait to start this year. I'm excited to communicate with the parents. I'm excited to work with the students. There's nothing that I won't do to help your students. And if there's anything I can do better or you have any questions, please send me an email, give me a call. Happy to be of service. I look forward for a great year and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Academic Center dress code. Students must always display their school identification badge at all times in the Academic Center. This includes classrooms and hallways. Tops. The IMG Academy uniform shirt is the Under Armour Performance Polo with the IMG Academy logo. The polo must always be worn regardless of outerwear. Sweatshirts, jackets, or three-quarter zips with the Under Armour or IMG logo are permitted in the Academic Center, but a uniform polo must always be worn underneath. T-shirts are not permitted. Sleeveless or bare midriff tops may not be worn. For bottoms, Academy uniform pants and shorts must be chino style and in good repair, which means no rips or holes. Bottoms may only be solid color. No prints are permitted. All uniform bottoms must have belt loops. Shorts must be appropriate fit with the inseam no shorter than 7 inches. Denim pants may be worn and must be in good repair. Again, no rips or holes. Skirts, skirts, pajama bottoms, sweatpants, leggings, denim shorts, and athletic shorts, pants, or tights are not permitted.
Hats are not permitted in the academic building. Shoes, pretty much the students have free reign for whatever shoes they would like to wear outside of house slippers. Students may also have special requirements if there's a field trip or a lab. Headphones and earbuds. We do a 1 in, 1 out rule. Those are just during passing periods and in the hallways. However, in the classrooms, we ask that students remove them. Face masks. If you're wearing a face mask in school, it must cover your nose and mouth. Face masks must also be plain in color. They may only have the IMG or Under Armour logo. Our students follow an A and B block schedule. A days are Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. B days are Tuesday, Thursday, and every other Friday. On Fridays, we also run a special schedule that you can see here, and also a few times per semester we will have what's called advisory, and those are also built into the schedule along with office hours.
Attendance. Excused absences are those already pre-approved by Academic Affairs or the attendance office. Parents must email academic_affairs@img.education as well as academic_attendance@img.education for approval. Unexcused absences. Unexcused absences is anything not approved by attendance or academic affairs and generally referred to absences other than those described above. Absences immediately prior to and after school vacations that are not pre-approved are not considered excused. Class attendance. 7 or more unexcused absences in any class or a record reflecting a pattern of not attending class on test days will generally be reviewed by Academic Affairs. Students may be placed on probation and at risk for a disciplinary hearing. Those students earning 10 or more unexcused absences per semester may be referred to the discipline committee and may be dismissed for non-attendance. Makeup privileges. Excused absences will typically be given the same number of class days they have missed to make up assignments. This also includes quizzes or major tests unless otherwise specified by a teacher or a department.
Detention is a consequence issued for unexcused absences, tardiness, uniform violations, classroom behavior issues, academic intervention planning. Detention is held in the morning and afternoon during sport time. Students will attend advisory periods a few times throughout the semester. An email and a text message will be sent to everyone reminding them that we'll follow a special schedule for advisory. Advisors will serve as an additional adult advocate and resource for all students. We encourage parents to utilize the Plus Portals system to keep track of their students' academic progress. This is a sample of what the parent homepage looks like. You can easily navigate through student attendance, test grades, homework grades, anything like that. If you have a question or having trouble accessing the system, please email academic_affairs@img.education. We have a lot of resources available on campus for our student athletes, one of which is the Learning Resource Center, or also referred to as the LRC. It's a dedicated class period offering various levels of support for student athletes. We also have one-on-one private tutoring. We have SAT, ACT prep courses, along with the Achievement Center, which will be open in the evenings from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please contact kathy.bogad@img.education for any questions regarding learning resources. If you feel that your child would benefit from well-being support, we do have psychological services available through Johns Hopkins Medical Center. For middle school, 9th and 10th grade, please email me, carrie.grant@img.education. For 11th, 12th, and postgraduate students, please email joseph.kukits@img.education. If you feel that your child may have a learning difference and would benefit from some sort of academic accommodation, please email kathy.bogad@img.education. Students may make adjustments to their schedules within the first 2 weeks after the start of school. Please visit the registrar's office in room number 325 or send an email to registrar@img.education. I want to thank everyone for joining us for the academic presentation. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to myself or Mr. Kukits by emailing deans@img.education. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mr. De Jesus. I work at the College Counseling Department and I work directly with tennis. So I'm going to talk to you about IMG Academy's college planning and placement and NCAA compliance education. So our mission here at the College Counseling Department is to bring together all functions that relate to college and university placement, advise students on academic options with athletic consideration, enhance student options and inform students academically and athletically, maintain communication between academics, athletics, and the parents, communication plan and timeline based on grade level, as per college placement guideline, and this is sports specific. So as we get a little bit more into detail, we go to the college planning process. This process basically consists of individualized plan for students of all grade levels, importance of curricular choices, meaning we help you with the courses that you select dependent on your end goal regarding college, PSAT, SAT, and ACT guidance and registration, and we also offer test prep for the SAT, usually offered in the evenings. We go into college info and statistics software, which is CALFO, and is a platform that we use here at College Counseling. And we also try to build on the best fit concept to create a pool of potential colleges and universities so that you have options and you can make a decision of your fit. So now we go into the recruitment approach. This means that we basically offer regular meetings between college counselors and sports recruiting liaison on your sport, conversations with coaches, recruiters, admissions, and NCAA. And also a partnership is done between academic affairs managers and college counselors so we can keep track and basically make sure that the students are getting everything done on their end. Now, the student's responsibility is basically to be proactive as much as possible. Speak with your IMG coach about expectations and the level of play. Entertain all offers. This means it doesn't have to be D1 or bust. You'd be surprised how many students find a right fit in other divisions and other institutions. So just be open to that. Over communicate with coaches and college counselors. This is extremely important because if we over communicate, it means that we don't leave anything to chance. So we make sure that we get it done at the end. So another component of the placement process will be the NCAA compliance, in this case, the compliance education. So what is the NCAA? NCAA regulates student athletes from 1,117 member institutions while supporting member legislation, running all championships and managing programs that benefit 480,000 student college athletes. What is the NCAA Eligibility Center, which is what basically we promote and we work with here at the College Counseling Department. So is the NCAA Eligibility Center evaluates and certifies prospective student athletes for collegiate competition at Division I and Division II schools. So you're probably asking, where do I register for something like this? So this is basically the landing page for the registration. So as you can see, there's a fee if you're basically doing a registration account, which is different from a profile page. So the registration account is for Division I, Division II institutions, and for U.S. residents will be $90 the fee and $150 for international. So what does the NCAA Eligibility Center does is they evaluate your high school profile or your high school record. So they go to your transcript and look for core courses. So what are core courses? Core courses are any English, math, natural or physical science, social science, foreign language, or comparative religion or philosophy course. So all these courses must be listed on the NCAA school profile page. Each school is going to have a page where they have all the approved courses that NCAA would consider for that evaluation. So what the NCAA does is they divide the standards in different divisions. So starting with Division I, those academic standards are the restricted ones. So the core courses must be met in a time limitation. 10 NCAA approved core courses must be completed by the start of the student's 7th semester in high school. 7 of the 10 courses must be in English, math, or science. 16 total core courses plus a minimum of 2.3 GPA must be met at the end of the high school career. Students must also earn SAT or ACT sum score per their sliding scale. Their standards are pretty much 4 English, 2 sciences, 3 math, 2 social sciences, 1 additional English, math, or science credit, and then 4 additional core courses. Now, our department based the standards on the eligibility on the D1 standards. So that way we don't leave anything to chance. So then we go to Division II academic standards. So in this division, all core courses completed starting the student's 9th grade year until full-time enrollment at Division II college or university. So 16 total core courses plus a minimum GPA of a 2.2 must be met at the end of their high school career. Students must also earn SAT or ACT sum score per their sliding scale, and their requirements are 3 years of English, 2 years of science, 2 years of math, 2 years of social science, 3 years of additional English, math, or science, and then 4 additional core courses. So now we go to Division III academic standards, which are the most flexible one, and usually each institution has their own academic standards. So the communication with the coach is crucial, and also with the admissions officers. So Division III eligibility requirements are determined by each college or university, as I just mentioned, by admission, financial aid, practice and competition. The NCAA Eligibility Center does not perform certifications for a Division III student athlete, which means that you can do a profile page and not a certification account. Division III student athletes may register for free for a profile page, which is not required. So as you can see here, we have the SAT and ACT testing dates. We have the registration deadline, and also when the scores are potentially coming out. Just note that the NCAA Eligibility Center only accepts scores reported directly from the SAT or ACT testing center. Now, as I wrap up the college counseling and placement portion of the orientation, I just want to say how excited I am to having your children on campus and the start of this school year. Thank you.